Good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So yesterday we had discussed about the seven factors of strategic alliance, as well as we had discussed the meaning of strategic alliance in yesterday's session. And we also talked about mergers and acquisition, as well as the different strategies which can be implemented by the organization under merger and acquisition. So that three topics we had discussed in the previous session, which we have conducted yesterday. So in today's session, we will start with retrenchment strategy. Now, definition: a strategic approach aimed at enhancing companies' financial health by minimizing operational expenses and ceasing operations in inefficient or unprofitable segments. That is the meaning of retrenchment strategy. Now, retrenchment, as the definition says, that when a company feels that this particular operation where we are involved in, where the company is involved in, is not profitable. So, company tries to close that operation, and that is to save the business or to make the business profitable, and that is called as retrenchment strategy. So it is written also. So it's a strategic approach aimed at enhancing financial condition of the company by minimizing operational expenses. Minimizing operational expenses means the expenses which the organization is incurring to keep all the operations running or going on, and seizing operation means stopping some of the operations which the organization feels that they are not profitable. So when any organization stops, for example, if the organization is having, say, many products in the portfolio of the organization. Now, out of these many products, the organization feels that one or two products in the portfolio are not going good, as well as the sector of that particular product is also not doing well. So, what the organization does under retrenchment strategy is they stop the production of those products which are, as per the views of or analysis of the company, are not are no longer profitable for the organization. So that is called as seizing some of the operations under the retrenchment strategy. So there are many type of retrenchment strategies. There is turnaround strategy, then there is divestment strategy, then there is another strategy which is called as the exit strategy, then there is liquidation strategy. So three four important strategies of retrenchment are there, which are often used by organization time to time. Whenever the company feels that we are going through a tough time, all our products which we are selling in the market are not going are doing good, or one or two in particular are not good, at that particular time the organization stops the production of those products. So that, now, why the organization stops the production of those products which are not doing good? Because the organization feels that by stopping the production of these products, they will add, or they will save on the expenditure, and ultimately this is going to add to the profitability of the organization. So if a particular product is not going good, then the company should stop that product and concentrate on the products which are doing good for the organization. Now, for example, if we talk about this, there are number of examples. For example, if we talk about Dell computers, everyone might be aware of the name Dell. At present, Dell is one of the biggest computers in the world, and it is in top 5 players who which manufacture computers. Now, in 2006, Dell computers, they came up with a strategy that we are not going to sell our product, that is Dell computers or Dell laptops, through the dealers or dealerships or through the electronic shops. What we are going to do is directly we will go to the customer, and directly the customer, we are going to sell our product, laptop, computer, directly to the customer. So it is direct from the factory. No other platform will be used. But later on, by 2007 and 2008, the company realized that this particular strategy is not working. So immediately they changed their strategy, and they decided that yes, as the other brands are doing, that they are selling their product through the dealerships as well as through online. So we are also going to adopt the same strategy. And that strategy proved good for the company, beneficial for the company. And then the company started growing, and the company improved upon its sales also. So it is not that once a company has decided that this is the strategy which we are going to follow, they are going to follow for years and years together. Every strategy is analyzed by the company year by year. And the moment they come to know that this particular strategy is not giving good result, immediately the change in the strategy is suggested by the top management of the company, and a new strategy is implemented. So retrenchment strategy is used to find out which product or which operation of the company is not profitable, so that corrective measures can be taken. First, it is checked that whether we can say make any corrections in the product, and if the organization feels no, even after making corrections, we will not be able to increase the sale of that particular product. So then the company decides that it will be better in the financial interest of the company that if they close the production of these loss making or less selling product of the company. So that is a retrenchment. Now, under retrenchment, as we had discussed, that there is a strategy which is called as turnaround strategy, which we okay, in the next slide we will be discussing in detail. First, we will complete this, and then when we will go to the turnaround, then we will discuss in detail. So the key actions which are implemented by the organization under retrenchment strategy is downsizing operations. That is what we had discussed, downsizing of operations. Now, you might have heard the name of Eicher Motors. The Eicher Motors, or Eicher, is the company which owns many brands, or they have multiple products. It is a conglomerate. Now, one of the product of Eicher is Royal Enfield. Now, earlier, when Royal Enfield was introduced by Eicher, initially it was not a hit the way it is now. Initially, they had introduced this bike, Royal Enfield, and the sale was not very good, not very encouraging. At that particular time, the company realized that they were having more than 15 products to be sold in the market. So they were manufacturing different products. They were into various sectors, and one of the sector was automobile sector, two-wheeler market. And then they decided that we will be closing our loss-making units. So they closed their loss-making units or loss-making products. And then they started concentrating on the new product called as Royal Enfield. They decided to revamp the advertisement for and the marketing of Royal Enfield. So they revamped it. They highlighted that it is the sturdiest bike in the country. It is the safest bike in the country. It involves the complete metal body uh, um, is of the Royal Enfield is having complete metal body, steel body. It is the heaviest bike, which makes the rider easy for controlling it. Uh, the vibrations are very less. So company concentrated on highlighting these things, and by highlighting this, they turned around the fortune of Royal Enfield, and now everyone is aware of. Earlier, only one model was there, that regular model. Later on, they introduced the other models also. There are models for youngsters, there are model for adults, there are model for trackers, there are model for the people who are interested in more powerful engine. So once the company started making profit, then all these models were introduced. So retrenchment is that when the company realizes that these are the operations which we need to stop, and these are the operation where we need to concentrate. So out of 15 operation, Eicher decided that we will be discontinuing 3, 4, or 5 operations. So instead of controlling 15 operation, they decided that we will be controlling less than 10 operations only, so that we can concentrate better on the operation of this less number of operations. So when we talk about the retrenchment strategy, the first key action is downsizing operation. That is what we had discussed. That how by downsizing the action, by reducing the number of operations, the company can concentrate far better on the less operation rather than concentrating on more operation. So it is very, the logic is very simple. It will be easier to for the company to monitor the less operations in an effective manner, then more operations. So that is the first key action is downsizing. Second one is divesting. Divesting means stop investing in those operations. Now, for example, a particular product is there. For the manufacture of that particular product, for designing that product, for packaging that product, for selling that product, for marketing that product, say 50 people are required, as well as raw material, machines, and all these things are required. So, in all, the company is investing every month, say 10 lakh rupees in those products, or maybe more than that. Now, when the company realizes that these products are not making the company profitable, they are not easy to sell, their growth has come down, sorry, their sale has come down, as well as the industry in which they are, that industry is also not growing. So instead of wasting our capital on them, let's go for divestment strategy. Divestment strategy is stop investing the amount, stop spending the amount. Which amount? The amount which is used to, say, manufacture those products, right from start to the end. And that is automatically, if say 10 lakh or 20 lakh rupees you are not investing in that, or you are not spending in those in the manufacturing of those products from the first to last step, automatically the company is able to save that 10-20 lakhs, which is directly going to add to the profits of the company. And those people who were overseeing this operation, some of the people of course can be removed by the organization, but the other high performing people can be given other responsibility. That okay, the highest performing people, suppose out of 50 people, 10 people were very good. So instead of removing all the 50 people, these 10 people who were excellent performer of the organization, they can be shifted to other product, that you can, and be told that you can now concentrate on the manufacturing or sale of these products. That is the benefit of divestment. Next one is market exit. Market exit is very simple, where the company do not want to continue in a particular market. So that is called as market exit, retrenchment study through market exit. Now, last time I had told you that the government of Delhi has announced officially, they have circulated official notice that from 1st January 2028, the selling of petrol two-wheelers will be banned in the national capital, Delhi. Now, market exit means the companies, the small companies or the large companies which are manufacturing two-wheelers in that particular locality, that particular area, what they are going to do, petrol vehicles, they are going to stop the manufacturing of those petrol vehicles in in that particular area. Why? Because the government has come up with a regulation. And so what they will be doing, they will enter into a new market, they will use their entire infrastructure on the manufacturing of electric vehicles. So that is called as market exit, when the company feels that the market present as well as in future is not going to be attractive in this particular sector at that particular time, the company decides that we should call an exit now from that particular market, and that is called as market exit. Next, retrenchment strategy or key actions under retrenchment strategy is outsourcing. Outsourcing, everyone is aware of the meaning of outsourcing. Now here what happens is the company, again, earlier it was the opinion of the organization that all the operations of the organization are to be handled within the organization itself. None of the organizational operation, whether it's a very, say, important operation or less important operation, very, say, bigger operation, larger operation, or a very minor operation, each and every operation, each and every activity shall be performed within the organization. And in those days, the reason given used to be given by the companies was that if we do not do so, then our data will not remain confidential. To keep the data of the organization confidential, all the organization used to carry out all the operations single handedly within the organization itself, because they thought that their data will not remain confidential. If they outsource some of the activities to the third party can or may leak the data to the competitor also. But nowadays, the companies have realized that if we are keeping all the operations to ourselves, it is going to be, say, more costly and very less professional, because there cannot be a organization, or no organization can guarantee that we can master each and every operation. Every organization has some strengths and some weaknesses. Every organization can say that we are masters in this particular field. At the same time, the organization is also aware we are very good in sales, we are very good in marketing, we are very good in advertisement, but we are not that good in this particular field. So can we outsource this particular operation to the other professional who are very good in that particular field? And that is called as outsourcing. In the human resource department also, earlier all the human resource department function were to be handled by the internal staff of the company. Now things are different. Now many companies have, say, outsourced training and development to the specialized training and development companies. Some companies have outsourced their recruitment to the consultancy firms, recruitment agencies, placement agencies, those who are specialized, they do only this thing. The organization has to concentrate on training, they have to concentrate on recruitment, on performance appraisal, on salary administration, on, say, the grievance redressal, on legal compliance. So organization HR department has to do each and everything, and that's the reason why we cannot be, say, 100% good in all the activities. This is where the organization realizes that if we can take the help of, say, the specialized recruitment agency, we will inform them that these are the vacancies which we are having, So you please release the advertisement, you shortlist the candidates, you conduct the primary interviews, you conduct the aptitude test, you conduct the shortlisted interview. Final interview, of course, will be conducted by the organization staff. So this way, the organization is outsourcing some of the activities or some of the operational functions to the other specialized agencies, and that is called as outsourcing. And the last one is renegotiating contracts. When the company comes to know that some of the operations are not going well, instead of directly closing those operations, every company thinks, can we revive the fortune of those operations? Can we turn back those operations from loss making to profit making? And that can be done with renegotiating contracts. Renegotiating contracts means contracts between the employee and the management, where the management can promise the employees that if you can make this product profitable, then the company is going to give you this incentive. So that is one part of renegotiating contracts. Now, objective of retrenchment strategy is very simple: streamline, focus on profitable, strategically critical core operation to conserve cash, enhance margin, and achieve financial stability. So, objective is that we will keep all the core or very critical operations of the organization to ourselves to save the cost, and we will outsource the other operations. Now, this particular thing will make us save money and say and increase our profits, and that is related to the retrenchment strategy. Next one is the turnaround strategy. So before we move on to turnaround, if you have not understood anything related to the retrenchment strategy, please go ahead. You can unmute and you can ask question, or else we will move on to the next one, that is the turnaround strategy. Okay, I hope my voice is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So definition first, we will discuss what is written on the slide, and then we will have extensive discussion on what is turnaround strategy. So in a business sense, in general sense, we will talk first what is turnaround in general sense. Turnaround in general sense is to transform a loss making company into a profit making one. So the general meaning of turnaround strategy is the strategy which helps the company to make a loss making company a profitable company. That strategy is called as turnaround strategy in the general terms. In the terms of business, if we talk about turnaround strategy or definition of turnaround strategy, in from the business point of view, is to deal with the issues of loss making company. How we deal with the issues of a loss making company, so that that loss making company can be converted or turned around into a profit making company. That is from the business point of view. And if we talk about turnaround strategy from the academic point of view, turnaround strategy is to solve the root cause of failure of loss making company, where the company comes to know that yes, we are having say 10 companies. Out of 10 company, one company is not doing good, rest all the companies are doing good. Now before directly closing that company, in turnaround the company tries to go to the root cause of that failure. Why the company, like other company, is not giving profit? Why the company is making losses? What is the root cause of that loss? That is studied under the turnaround strategy by the company. So turnaround strategy, if we talk about there are many examples of turnaround strategy, many examples in business also. There are examples in the other than business, that is in the politics also. There are many examples where we can see the implementation of turnaround strategy. Many examples are there. So first we will talk about the examples from industry. In 2008, the one of the most say famous example of turnaround strategy is the Tata Motors. We all are aware that during the recession of 2008, Tata's decided that they will be selling the Tata Motors to Ford Motors, and then because of some reasons it could not be executed. The agreement could not be executed. Tata's came back again to India, and they concentrated that they went to the root cause of failure of Tata Motors. That why Tata Motors is not making profit. Why the passenger vehicle is not making profit. And they came up with a new strategy that we will be coming up with a new car. That car will be Indian car, and we will be marketing that car as a first Indian car, first make in India car, first 100% Indian car. So these were the slogans which were used by Tata Motors to promote their iconic car Indica, and later on they when they introduced Sumo also. So these cars were huge hit in the market, and they turned the entire fortune. The company which was near bankruptcy, they were about to go for bankruptcy filing. So the company which was near bankruptcy, because of that strategy, they became one of the most profitable companies of the company of the Tata account group of companies. And that is called as turn around strategy. When the company implements such a strategy which makes the loss, or which converts the loss making company into a profit making company, that strategy is called as the turnaround strategy. Later on, again, when the Tata Motors acquired Land Rover, Jaguar and Land Rover, two luxury car brands, at that particular time they were not doing good. Again, the Tata came up with a new strategy. They changed their advertising, they changed their marketing strategies. They concentrated on say the improving their supply chain. They concentrated on improving their after sale services, and because of those things they were able to again convert those loss making ventures into profit making ventures. So again, For the Royal Enfield also, I had told you that earlier it was not doing good. Later on, when the marketing strategies or advertisement was changed, the slogans were changed, and now we are seeing that a loss making company became one of the most profit making company of that iShare group. So that is related to turnaround strategies of companies. Now there are turnaround strategies for countries also, that there have been countries which have implemented these turnaround strategies, and they have made their failing country or failing economy to one of the most profitable economy of the world. One of the best example is China, and the other example is Singapore. Singapore is, we will say, the best example for turnaround strategy. Now, why Singapore? Because Singapore, when we got independence in 1947, Singapore got independence much later than India. It was around 1960 or 65 something. And during that particular period, Singapore was a very small country. Total chaos was there. Bank, say, no business was there, no industries were there, no roads were there. Poverty was at its peak during 1960s when it got independence. We got independence in 1947. Singapore got it in 1960s, maybe 1965 to be precise, if I am correct. So during that particular period, things were very bad for the country. At that particular time, it was a very small country and one of the poorest country in Asia. At that particular time, they went to China, that because it was a very small country. They went to Malaysia also, their government, after independence, that please make us your part of your territory. It will be called as the Chinese territory or Malaysian territory. But looking at the present state, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, they rejected the offer that we do not want you to be our country's part, because again, you are not, your contribution to the growth of our country is going to be nil. On the other hand, we will have to invest more in the development of your country, and we will not be getting anything in return. So country was under total problem in 1965-70. At that particular time, the first prime minister of Singapore, that is Lee Kuan Yew, you search the name and you will find the contribution of that particular person. He was prime minister for around by 1980 or something. So till that period, how he changed one of the poorest country of Asia to one of the most developed country of not Asia but of the world, single-handedly. That is the best example of turnaround strategy. So he came up with various strategies. He concentrated on the investment in education. He made education free for the children in Singapore. He realized that we do not have natural resources as the other countries like Malaysia, like Indonesia, like India, like China. So, can we attract tourism, hospitality, and tourism? So, he concentrated on that also. And Singapore became the cleanest city of the world, and it started attracting the tourists. So, by 1980s, it's had become developed country. We got independence earlier than Singapore, and still we are we are in the phase of developing only. Reasons are many that as a country, the leaders of our country were able to implement turnaround strategy in a effective manner. And there in Singapore, the leader was able to implement that turnaround strategy in an excellent manner. They made by bribery a very severe or serious offense. Anyone who will be found taking bribe will be punished severely. Capital punishments were given to the people who will be found taking bribery. And because of that, the country progressed so fast, and they are much, much ahead of us in terms of progress, in terms of development, in terms of education, in terms of corruption. From many point of view, we can say that they are ahead of us. And if we talk about the turnaround strategy which was adopted by China, again, we got independence in 1947. China got independence in 1949. At that particular time, everything was doing good. In fact, we were at par. And on many occasions, India was slightly better progressing than the China. And then came in the year 1980, and the communist government, they came in, they decided that a resolution was passed in the Communist Party in the parliament, and the resolution was Make China Great. That was the name of the resolution. That we are going to do anything and everything which is going to make China the greatest country of the world. And from 1980 till now, the Chinese government is working on that simple ideology, simple strategy, and that strategy was based on the vision that make China great. And they realize that if we want to bounce back, we have to work on education, we have to work on corruption, we have to work on industrialization. And they worked on everything, and within a very, say, later on, from 1980s, they started outsmarting India. And now we see that where they have reached and where we are. So it is not, turnaround strategy is not a concept which can be implemented only in organization. It can be implemented in any area. It can be implemented in a country as a whole. It can be implemented in sports as well. For sports also, the turnaround strategy, if we talk about, The turnaround strategy, who implemented a turnaround strategy of Indian cricket? If you say study in detail about the turnaround strategy being implemented in Indian cricket, you will realize, you will find that Saurav Ganguly is being given the credit. Because earlier, whenever Indian team used to tour the foreign countries, before the players will start the matches in those countries, everyone was aware of the result. That if they are going for playing a 5 match test series, we will be rest assured that they will be coming, the team will be coming at least say 3-0 or 4-0 or maybe 5-0 also, and everything. So loss, everything, every match will be lost. So he came in with a concept called killer instinct, and then the turnaround started of Indian cricket. So in sports also you can implement turnaround, in companies also you can implement turnaround, and in the country as a whole, to change the entire fortune of the country, you can come up with a turnaround strategy. So that is related to the meaning of turnaround strategy. Now, the next one is how it is implemented in detail. We will be discussing the turnaround strategy in 5 steps. So the first steps, it starts with analyze the data to pinpoint the problem. That why the company is not in profit, why the company is in loss. So that root cause is to be analyzed first. We have just discussed that when Dell can implement turnaround, when Tata can implement turnaround, when Aisher can implement turnaround. So it is possible. It is not that if a company is say reporting loss for the consecutive 3 days or 3 years or 5 years, then there is no nothing can be done to revive the company. Of course it can be, but for reviving the fortune of the company, for implementing a turnaround strategy, the first thing you should be aware of is analyze the data to pinpoint the problem. What is the problem which is making the company, which is forcing the company for losses? What is that important problem? So that is the first step. Second is using decision making model to identify next step. So why the company is making losses for so many years? For example, it can be because of say this quality of the product, safety related to the product, or advertisement of the product, or marketing strategies of the product. Another very classic example of Tata, which you might be aware of, failure of Tata Nano. Why Tata Nano, which was considered as the one of the most close to the heart project of late Mr. Ratan Tata? It was the Tata Nano project was the uh, uh, we can say the brainchild of Mr. Ratan Tata. It was very close to, it was his dream project. So why that dream project failed? So when they went to the root cause at that particular time, one of the root cause was that they miscalculated the hype which was created in the country. Hype in the sense that everyone was very curious that when that less than 1 lakh or 1 lakh rupee car will be launched in the country, and the pre bookings were also hit. That was the reason why the company had not given 100% on advertisement and on its marketing strategy. They thought that already everyone is aware of, already the pre bookings are flooded, already there is a hype, everyone wants to know, everyone wants to purchase that 1 lakh car. So the company didn't concentrated on the marketing strategy or advertisement strategy. So they took it very lightly, not in a on a very serious note. And the second most important reason was that some incidents where while while driving on road, suddenly the electrical wires, they there was a say a blast in the electrical wire, and fire broke out in the car, and those incidents were highlighted in news and in newspaper also detailed, reported in detail. So people got concerned about the safety. So one is advertisement, the other one is safety concerns. So because of this, the company's deem project was not hit, it failed. So whenever a turnaround strategy is to be thought or is to be decided, first we need to go to the root cause. What is the root cause? So if the company decides to revive this particular car, they have to go to the root cause. Okay, the first root cause is that we had not given 100% in marketing and branding and advertisement. So we are going to concentrate now more than 100% in this particular area. Next, because of safety concern, people were not ready to purchase this car. Again, we will be working on making it very safe. Next, some people believe that as this car is of less than 1 lakh or around 1 lakh, the features of the car will not be very good. So all the material will not which will be used in the manufacturing of the car is not going to be that good. So that misconception the company has to break if the company wants to revive its car back in the market. So first is analyze the data to pinpoint the problems. Second is using decision making model to identify the next step. That what will be the next step? We have finalized, okay, that this is the problem. And because of this problem, the company is not doing good. The company is into loss. Now we want to revive the fortune of the company. Now we need to decide that for problem number one, this decision will be taken. This strategy will be made and implemented. For problem number two, this decision, this strategy will be implemented. Likewise, this is to be decided under step number two. Number three is build a turnaround plan. Once you are ready, with your decisions, that this is how we are going to uh, turn around the fortune of the company, then you need to build a turnaround plan. Turnaround plan is what? That how you are going to implement, how much time you have calculated the company will be taking for making the turnaround from loss to profit. So that planning is to be done under the third step. Next is align and execute your plan. So align the plan with the objectives of the company, and then execute your plan. So whatever you have planned, that this is how we are going to implement plan decision number one, decision number two, decision number three. So implement that in that particular manner. And the next one is monitor and adopt your strategy. Monitor. Now you have started implementing the strategy on ground. Which strategy? Turnaround strategy. You have finalized, or you know what the problems are, what is the root cause of the problem. You have analyzed the problem, you have come up with a decision to solve the problem. How you will be solving the problem, that also you have decided. You have prepared the plan for the solving the problem. Then you have implemented a timetable also, or you have prepared, made the timetable that for 1 year we have to implement this strategy, and then we can expect good result of this turnaround strategy. After that, you have to monitor it day by day, every week, every fortnight, every month, to see to it or to check whether whatever you had calculated earlier when you were planning strategy, or when you were executing your strategy, whether everything is going as per your calculation or not. Is there any change required in the strategy, or everything is fine? That you can find out with the help of monitoring phase, and adopt your strategy. And if you have come to the conclusion that yes, your strategy has been a profitable strategy, that strategy has helped the organization to make a turnaround from loss making to profit making, then continue with that strategy. That is, adopt that strategy henceforth. So these are the 5 steps for the implementation of turnaround strategy. Next is divestment and the execution of divestment process, then liquidation and managing the liquidation process. These two topics we will be discussing in the tomorrow's session. So we will end here. So thank you everyone for being present in today's session. Thank you. Tomorrow again we will be starting at the same time, that is 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.